Guys, it's Houston Sports Talk back in another video day, and today we're going to be talking about the Minnesota Vikings potentially trading for former first-round draft pick Mac Jones for the New England Patriots, who also was a Pro Bowler in his rookie year and led the Patriots to a 10-7 record. Mac Jones has put on a show in the first two preseason games against the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, as in 2 games he has thrown 25 for 34, as he has also thrown 310 passing yards with 2 passing touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Now, his most recent game was his best game, was he threw 210 passing yards, throwing 16 for 23 against the Buccaneers. And, the first game he threw 98 passing yards as he threw, I think it was 9 for 11. So, crazy completion percentage so far. Completion percentage of over 73%, which is outstanding. I know those are 2 games where it's kind of scattered, and he's going up against 3rd and 4th team guys. But I hate when people sometimes say, a quarterback is playing against 3rd or 4th team guys. That obviously can be an advantage for a quarterback. Of course, I'm not saying it's not. But let's not act like he's not throwing the ball to 3rd and 4th team guys as well. He might be throwing the ball to maybe a couple of 2nd team guys, potentially, but he's throwing the ball mainly to 3rd, 4th, and maybe even 5th team guys. If he's basically the only quarterback out there, CJ Beathard played a little bit for the Jags against the Bucks. Now, it wasn't a lot. I mean, he threw like 7 passes. I think he threw like 4 for 7, played a couple of drives. So it wasn't a lot of playing time for CJ Beathard, their backup quarterback. Mac Jones played the majority of the game, was able to put up those numbers, with limited throws, only 23 throws, and put up some really good numbers in the game. Playing with 3rd and 4th team guys. This is a guy who's been a starting quarterback, and now he's playing with 3rd and 4th team guys. Does he have an advantage going up against weaker defenses? But he also has weaker offenses. This is already a guy who's had weak offenses. These are even weaker as he's playing with 3rd and 4th team guys. He's already had the terrible luck of playing with Patriots wide receivers. Now it's even worse playing with 3rd, 4th, and 5th team guys with the Jaguars. But he has played good enough to the point where the Vikings could potentially call up the phone and ask the Patriots for a trade, because the Vikings rookie quarterback J.J. McCarthy tore his meniscus. He's out for the season, officially done. I don't know if they trust Sam Darnold fully enough for him to be the sole quarterback in the room. Now, there are a couple other solid quarterbacks in this QB room. Jaron Hall, who was able to start a game or 2 last year. He was a guy they drafted in like the 6th round. I don't know if he's someone they are comfortable with starting. Nick Mullins is a guy who's a pretty good quarterback. I think he looks good with this Vikings starting group, like the wide receivers like Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson and Aaron Jones. I think he could do some good things, but he also throws a lot of interceptions, so I don't know about him. And then the final guy, let's get to Mac Jones, the trade candidate. He could be a potential candidate for them to add in as a backup for Sam Darnold and a potential starter if Sam Darnold gets injured, or, he also potentially, is playing terrible. Now, the Vikings aren't a great team, but when you have potential as a team, you want to have a good quarterback ready to go as your backup just in case. Sam Darnold, I think I'd rather take Sam Darnold right now over Mac Jones, but at the same time, if Sam Darnold struggles, you could see Mac Jones get that job if he starts struggling and if this trade happens. People don't think the Vikings are going to be a good team, and I think the main reason people are not too high on the Vikings is just because of the fact that the Vikings are in such a tough division, a division with the Bears, with how good Caleb Williams looks, and he has a stacked team around him. I mean, for a first overall pick, you couldn't ask for a better team around him, defensively and offensively. You got the Lions, who were great last year. I think they're going to be even better this year. And the Packers were great last year, mainly in the second half. They were terrible in the first half. You'd think if they're good the entire season, they're a better team. So it's a tough division, and it's a tough schedule, but they got talent. It's not like they don't have talent. You want a good quarterback to throw the ball with a team that has talent. And if Sam Darnold goes down or he starts playing good, I'm not confident with the Vikings having Hall or Mullins. This is a team that has Aaron Jones, a Pro Bowl running back, as the running back, and another really good running back in Ty Chandler for a nice 1-2 punch. They have honestly probably one of the best wide receiver duos in football. I think if you look outside of Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, I think the best wide receiver duo in football, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. We'll see if Jordan Addison gets a suspension for what happened this offseason with an incident off the football field that I do not want to talk about. But even if it's a small suspension, I think at most it's a 4 to 6 game suspension for Jordan Addison. So he's still back for the last potentially, looking at having him back for potentially the last 11 to 13 games of the season if things go right for the Vikings. And that's if he gets a suspension. But you have two great wide receivers in Addison and Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson, another wide receiver in Jalen Naylor, who's looked pretty good for the Vikings as a draft pick. So that's a really nice wide receiver trio right there. You have T.J. Hawkinson at tight end, which when you have such a stacked wide receiver core like the Vikings do, it's not often you have a dominant tight end there as well, like T.J. Hawkinson. We'll see how he comes back from his injury last year. The offensive line is solid. It's not amazing, but it's solid. The defense is what I really like for this Vikings defense. I think the defensive line is strong with them, this year drafting Dallas Turner. They also have Jonathan Grenard because, Jonathan Grenard is a guy who can play linebacker or he can play defensive end. We'll see which position he does play. Now, I think he'll probably be playing linebacker for them, but they have so many other really solid defensive players. You got Dallas Turner. You have Camu Grugier-Hill. Blake Cashman is someone I love from the Texans. Andrew Van Ginkel is someone they signed from the Dolphins who I love. They just signed Stephon Gilmore. They've always had Harrison Smith. He's a dog. Byron Murphy Jr. is outstanding as well. Shaquille Griffin is another corner, another former Houston Texan I really like. This is a good defense. They got a lot of good depth at defense as well. This is even though the defense lost some assets like Danielle Hunter to the Texans, they still managed to add in some Texans. They added in quite a bit of Texans this offseason. They added in Jonathan Grenard, Blake Cashman, and Shaquille Griffin. They are definitely scouting Texans. And also Camu Grugier-Hill is another former Texan in that defensive room. They are, someone from the Texans has to work for the Vikings and that coaching staff. I don't know who it is, but they love the Texans. Anyways, moving on from the defense. The defense is good. Like I mentioned, the offense is stacked. This team has talent. The only question of this team, if you ask me, is maybe the offensive line not being worthy enough and not having a complete quarterback. That's the only issues of this team, if you ask me. And maybe you can add a third issue, being in a very tough division with a tough schedule. Outside of that, this team is a great team. This is a great Vikings team. Outside of not having the best quarterback and the offensive line being mid, and then having a hard schedule, this Vikings team has the potential to be a great team. In a weak division, I think they're an easy division winner with the right quarterback, whether it was Sam Darnold or Mac Jones, if they traded for Jones. Now, want to get into the Jaguars potentially trading Mac Jones. Would the Jaguars be open to trading Mac? I think this is something, if they get the right offer, definitely could be willing to let go of Mac Jones. He's not their backup quarterback, so it's not like if they get rid of Mac, they got to, focus on this new plan. Who we're going to get as our backup quarterback? They got C.J. Beathard. I think they really like him. Honestly, if Trevor Lawrence were to go down today and they had to decide between Beathard and Mac Jones, I think without a doubt they would choose CJ. It's nothing against Mac Jones. I just think they really like what they've seen from CJ as their backup quarterback. That's even though Mac Jones has looked phenomenal in preseason. I just think he's been there for a couple of years now. He knows the system a little bit more. He's played a little bit in the regular season last year when Trevor Lawrence had some ankle issues. Don't see a way where if Trevor goes down, CJ is not the quarterback. So with that being said, they have no issue, with getting rid of Mac. You just got to find a new QB3. Just sign a new QB3 and then you're ready to go. I mean, I don't if they, but also I think the Jaguars will try to a little bit maybe abuse the Vikings because they know they're desperate. Any team dealing with the Vikings knows they're desperate. Any team trying to send a quarterback to Minnesota knows they're desperate because their rookie quarterback just tore his meniscus and now they're stuck with Sam Darnold for the season. They're going to take advantage. What might cost maybe a, let's say, 7th and a 6th round pick, or maybe just a 5th round pick, might be worth a 5th and a 6th round pick now, or a 5th round pick, or maybe even a 4th round pick. I think how bad they need a quarterback definitely drives the value of that quarterback. And that team that they're dealing with will try to take advantage in times like this. I think that's why we didn't see the Vikings make a deal last year when Kirk Cousins went down. I think that's why we didn't really see the Jets make a trade when Aaron Rodgers went down, is because teams that those two teams are going to deal with, they're going to try to take advantage and try to lift the prices on those quarterbacks. And I don't know if that really happens with Mac Jones, a QB3. But here's what I do know. You put him in this Vikings offense, I think he does some good things. Because this is a guy who, in his rookie season, led the Patriots to a 10-7 record, throwing a total of 3,801 passing yards with 22 passing touchdowns in 17 games in his rookie season, with his top 3 guys to throw the ball to being Kendrick Bourne, Hunter Henry, and Jacoby Myers. I like all 3 of those players. Hunter Henry is a phenomenal tight end. Jacoby Myers just had a great season in Las Vegas. And Kendrick Bourne is, you could say, most likely probably the best wide receiver for New England currently. But you compare those 3 guys to you compare those 3 guys to what he would have in Minnesota with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, T.J. Hawkinson, Jalen Naylor, a stacked defense, a good coach in Kevin O'Connell, a coach who's played that quarterback position, can help him learn and help him develop. That's a way better situation for Mac Jones than New England. And let's not forget this last year, New England 2023, it wasn't as good as an offense as he had in his rookie season. His rookie offense wasn't that good itself. It got worse though, going into 2021. In 2023, 2-9 record as the starting quarterback in 11 starts. He was 224 for 345, which is a completion percentage of 65%, throwing 2,120 passing yards, 10 passing touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. It was a bad year, but he had a bad wide receiver core. I think you put Mac Jones on the Minnesota Vikings with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, T.J. Hawkinson, and Jalen Naylor, and also Aaron Jones as the running back, and also the other running back being Ty Chandler. Honestly, Mac Jones is probably looking like 2021 Mac Jones, where as a rookie in 17 games, he threw almost 4,000 passing yards and 22 passing touchdowns. I think that's the type of quarterback we would get with the Minnesota Vikings, if not better. Now, I want to mention also, we saw Mac Jones throw a total of 34 pass attempts for 310 passing yards in the first 2 games in the preseason. Now, I think as a starter for the Minnesota Vikings, you could be seeing Mac Jones throw the ball more than that. In the 8 games that Kirk Cousins started in before he tore his Achilles, Kirk Cousins was throwing the ball with pass attempts 39 times a game. And that's going to happen when you have guys like Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison. So, Mac threw 34 passes in the preseason so far and threw 310 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns with 0 interceptions with guys that are third, fourth, and fifth team guys. Imagine what he'd look like playing with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and Jalen Naylor and TJ Hawkinson and Aaron Jones. I don't know. Mac Jones would look pretty good with the Vikings. Let me know your thoughts on the potential trade in the comment section, and peace out.